Ken Bruce from DirtTrackDigest.com. We're here with winner of the Rebel 50 at Cherokee Speedway, the elite race, Ryan Godown, along with co-owner of the R&M Motorsports, Mike Carlucci. First off, Ryan, congratulations on the win, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's just surreal, right? It's Tuesday? Now we get back to the grind. We got everything cleaned up. Everybody rested up, and just all move on to Georgetown.
And Mike, for you, I know you weren't there, unfortunately, but we were texting after the show, and that's what you said. It was surreal how it all happened.
Yeah, definitely surreal. I was mobile crew chiefing. I kind of got used to it, with doing it with work, and then when they were in Louisiana, I didn't get to go to Louisiana with them either. So, we've gotten to the point where what I can see on TV, with Flo and whatnot, we can kind of watch practice and time trials and heat races, and he can give me feedback, and I can see at least what I can see on TV, what little, you get to see or what you do get to see. And then we just stay in contact, pretty much the whole time. And when we got time, we think about it, sleep on it, wake up, ponder, and then keep on going.
It all worked out for you, that's for sure. All right, the weekend in general, you came in, you were decent in practice. You weren't the fastest, but you weren't, you were in the top half. And then you worked on the car, and then unfortunately you got a bad draw as usual for your heat race. But you came through, you managed to come through and get an important redraw spot, and that really helps your weekend right there.
Yeah, I thought in practice, I think we're top 10, within all three sessions. So I wasn't worried there. Kind of where I seen the fast guys running, they were kind of ripping the lip. And as you get older and you race more, you learn, you could rip the lip in practice and you're always going to get the quick time. But we tried to work on the car in the black and try to get it where it was the slickest. And, the track changed a lot from practice to heat race. We didn't even catch up with it enough for the heat race. And we kind of made it in on luck. We had, I think Goulart got a flat, and then, we had a couple restarts to get a couple guys, and, that really just got us luck, and then end up making a redraw. And, we all took our notebook home with us, Friday night, and we all had a good meeting, me, Mike, and my brother, and Stefan, and came up with something good for Saturday. And, man, you would have never thought it was going to be that good. I thought it was just going to get good, but everything was pretty good right from the drop of the green. And then it was about tire management. I went and looked at Shepard's tire from Friday night, and I looked at mine, and I'm like, man, if I drive like I did the heat race, there's no way. So, I had to change my driving style for the feature too, and you had to be patient. And there's a lot that goes into it that a lot of people don't understand, but it was tough. It was just a lot of decisions to be made. And these cars, you can mess them up real quick too. You can do a couple wrong things and be out to lunch. So we're trying to do things, but not throw the book at it either.
So what did you guys decide to do after Friday night's heat race? To get ready for Saturday with a longer race. And I know I texted a lot of drivers, including you, on Saturday morning, and everybody was worried about tire wear. So did you make some kind of adjustments with the car to try to help that a little bit?
I think the biggest thing was just make him comfortable in the car first of all, right? If he's not comfortable in the car, then you can't feel it under your seat. How are you going to hold that tire for 50 laps when, like you said, after 20 it wasn't looking the greatest? And then going to our notebook about how we've prepped tires in the past, and we're pretty diligent with tire temps and how the tire's wearing and what the car was, was it balanced, was it not balanced, and taking that all into consideration and using a pretty deep notebook that we have from the years of racing, and thinking about that, putting that all together, and coming to a group decision on how to best go forward. I mean, the nice thing about it was everybody had to be on the same tire, so it wasn't the game of do you go hard, do you go soft. Obviously people would have gone harder if they could have, right. Especially after Friday, but knowing you only had to work with what you had to work with, what's the best way we can to use that canvas to give us the best chance to be successful at the end of the race, not just the beginning.
Well, obviously it all worked out for you. So, but on Saturday, you redrew number 6, which was a decent draw, and you sort of hung around there a little bit. I don't think you dropped back too much at all. But for me, the key to the race was that lap 27 or 28 restart when you were 4th, and then you come around the next lap and you're 2nd. You were able to get by Matt, and you were able to get by Bunning, I think it was. Yeah. And that was, to me, that was the key to your race right there.
Well, I think Bunting helped me there because Bunting was leading it, and he took the top. So when he did that, I think Larry got a good start on him on the bottom, and I was able to roll behind Bunting and kind of get between Shepard and Bunting there. I think Bunting pushed up off of that going into one, but the car stuck there, and that kind of surprised how good it stuck there. So, yeah, it was. But, it seemed like the top on the restarts, when you're in the top 6 there, if you started on the top, it was better. It was just seemed that you could roll around the corner better. Every time I started on the bottom, it just didn't seem to go. The whole lane just kind of got bobbled up. So, yeah, that was big. But, listen, it's a little bit of help everywhere. You got to have a lot of luck. This stuff ain't just we're on our toes, and it's funny. Restarts pay a big dividend on a lot of things. So you got to be up on your toes, and what I've learned through over the years is you got to make every opportunity what you can on restarts.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said during the interview, Victory Lane interview, that you saw Matt jump to the top and go around you, and that was your sign to I better follow him.
Well, I wanted to conserve, right? I said if I can get to halfway, then I saw the top. I could look at it, and you could see it's there. I think everybody was scared to go there. And then I'm like, let me wait. It's funny because it's like the last 3 laps before he got me on the top, I said, man, I should go up there. Nope, conserve. Like you had the angel and the evil on your shoulders, right? Go up there, don't go up there. Go up there, don't go up there. And then once he went up there, I knew, obviously, it's better, and if you knew Shepard was coming, you knew a couple other fast guys behind him were coming. So, we kind of started rolling it. We got by a couple guys, but it really didn't roll nice in 1 and 2. It was a good 3 and 4 was a lot better to roll at the top than 1 and 2 you could maintain, and 3 and 4 you kind of had to. That's where you could pick a guy off. So, but you didn't want to use your stuff up either. So you had to be conservative still running the top, and that was the hard part. Is you got to be aggressive but conservative, and listen, we had a lap or 2 left on our tire. I mean, we didn't have much more than that. If we had a couple more cautions, it was a 50-lap race, but all in all, it probably was a 60-lap race with all the cautions coming out after we made a half a lap. So you use your tires up for a half a lap, you get a caution, half a lap caution. Add all that up through the whole feature, you probably ran a 60-lap race. So I think we conserved our tire. Listen, it was 50 laps, and it still stayed up. So as far as I'm concerned, we had the right tire the way we did it, and it's all weekend. I didn't have Mike there, nobody, and I worked on tires all weekend. You asked my brother, and he was, and that's, as much as I didn't want to do it, you have to do it. And, we didn't really know how to prep it going there because we didn't know how it was going to be. So it was just a lot of work at the racetrack, and we just made it all work,
Well, once you got, then it was you and Larry battling for the lead, and you did some really good, close, hard racing, and you were finally able to wrestle the lead away from Larry. And then on the next restart, he got a good run on you and almost got back by. And he did get back by, but you were able to pull him going down the backstretch. Yeah,
no, he was good up top. I think he let his tires cool down, and he actually got a better, run on the top. What I did wrong is going into 1 and 2, I kind of went down to the bottom too low, and I couldn't get through the middle as good as I did if I went another half a lane up. So that to me was something I got to learn to do better. My car was better more in the middle than it was the bottom. So yeah, we almost gave it away right there. But Larry, he made a heck of a move there, and it just we're able to sneak next to him and still keep the position.
And, like Larry said in Victory Lane, you guys ran hard. You're running for $25,000, so nobody's going to give each other an inch, but you ran clean.
Yeah, I think maybe 10 years ago, both of us probably took each other out for the win. But, we've all matured and we've all learned. And, and that's what was good about, running a lot of other races is you learn to be patient. You learn to be conservative. And I think me and him both did that. And I thought it was fun. I enjoyed running side by side as much as it's nerve-wracking. Larry, I know, wasn't going to give me a half a lane, and I wasn't going to give him a half a lane. So it was good, side by side racing. And, I don't know. I hope we did proud with, everybody in the stands and watching on TV of how the race performed out.
And then after that, it started being restart after restart. And, restart seems to, when you jump on the tires, that's probably hard, makes it worse, for the guys that are having no tread left. So you had to survive probably like 4 or 5 restarts there in the last 5 laps, and that had to be nerve-wracking.
Well, it was. I kind of was upset when the 5 to go one came out, right? So I think a lot of guys went in. I think that's when there's like 5 guys went in. And I'm like, man, that means my tire must not be good, right? So, and then we got rain starting to come in. Well, I'm hitting the shield with rain. and I'm praying. I said, just downpour this thing, right? Because I have no idea what's left on my tires. So, and then we get going another 3 laps. I just tried to stay as calm and stuff as you can be, and as conservative as you can be. But still, you got a lot of guys behind you who want to get that 25 grand too. You know, you gotta know. And then I kind of went back to the middle because I said, man, I can't give up that run off the top again. So I did that, and I thought I was getting through 1 and 2 a lot better late. And then we had them, I think it was 1 or 2 cautions with 2 to go. And I didn't even know what to think. I just was trying to say, hey, we just got to get this thing to the checker. I mean, I was talking to my mom and dad up there, saying, man, get me through this race. And, you know, like I always do. And obviously, you know, they helped me out, and they helped me prevail to get to the win.
So as a co-owner of the car and, you know, not being there, were you just as nervous here at the shop as you would have been at the racetrack?
Yeah, I was pacing. Deb says she's going to buy me a new pair of shoes every time she sees me at Bridgeport. So, you know, I sit here, I watch. I was pacing a little bit, and, you know, I got Dan texting Dan and texting some other people what's happening. My dad was out, so he wasn't able to watch it on TV. He keeps asking me for updates, and then you got, you know, Chelsea and Matt down at the track, and they're texting me, and Flo's on a little bit of a delay, so they're telling me about things that are happening that I don't know what's happening yet. So it was a little nerve-wracking at that point, but, you know, we were prepared, and, you know, at that point it's out of my hands. I can't do anything. You know, it's in his hands, and you hope that the chips are going to fall where they need to fall.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they fell for you, and, you know, obviously you were worried every time you stepped on the gas on a restart the tire was going to hang up or not, but it held on for you.
Yeah, I said, man, if I can just get out of turn 4 with a holding up, I didn't care. I was going to get across the checker. But, I mean, we all say that, but it held up, and I can tell you, we dismounted tonight. There's not much left. It's very thin. So I gave it maybe 1 or 2 laps is probably what I had left, depending on, you know, where it ran in the corners. So it just, you know, it's one of them deals. I mean, we won a race at Big Diamond like that, same way. You know, I think it was the same 5-lapper there, 100-lapper. And we got that tire hanging up, and it was bald just as bad as that one was this time. So, you know, it's funny, right? You see all these guys get flats, and who would have thought Larry White and Ryan Godown could serve their tires to the end, right? You would have never thought it, right? And that's where this racing has become, where we all becoming better at it and trying to do the best we can at conserving. So,
well, the key is trying to keep the car as straight as possible. That helps a lot. You know, I've heard that from different drivers. You know, Hearn was a master at that at Orange County, and for the Eastern States race, he drove the car straight, always kept his tires under him. So, it's a learning process through the years.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, the more you race the long races, that's what it becomes to, you know, you get better at. So you can't, you know, all them years that you raced 10th, but you ran 100 lappers, I mean, that's what got you ready for these longer races. I mean, every race you go to, you learn, and you learn, and you learn, and you learn. And, you know, trying to tell other younger guys that are coming up, you got to run some of the bigger races because that's how you learn for these other races, you know.
Yeah, and it comes, and you can see that on these bigger races, the you know, the cream, the guys that are used to running them always come to the top. So, you know, that definitely helps a lot. So now we get into, you know, they have the money team in NASCAR. I'm going to relabel you guys the money team because, you know, since Grandview, the 76er last year, I've tallied you've probably won close to $100,000, and you know, it's your own team. It's you and Mike's team, and you have a lot of great sponsors, obviously, but it still takes a lot of money to keep these things going.
Absolutely, and like I said, I think I said in Victory we had a car. I mean, without Mike Carlucci, you know, this team's really nothing, right? What he brought to the table and what all the other sponsors come behind him as being an owner, it just helped us. I mean, we got done Louisiana, and we weren't sure what we wanted to do. We sat down, me and him, and had a couple ideas and said, man, should we get some help with another team? Should we just do it ourselves? You know, what do you want to do? And ultimately, you know, some of our sponsors got wind of that, and they came to us saying they want to help us get better and help us, and they pitched in more, and obviously we pitched in more, and, you know, it went around the circle, and, you know, we just want to keep the roller coaster riding right now. And, you know, I always say you surround yourself with good people and good things happen. And I think we got good people around us right now. And, you know, it was good because you go into this race and, you know, we did good at Louisiana, and it's like, maybe that was a fluke, right? You know, you did 6, or, you know, maybe that was just a fluke year. But then you come out of the gate with a win, it just feels really good. Not saying that's how the rest of the year is going to go because anything can happen, but at least it's on a good note, and we could just keep working hard from there. I mean, we got home Sunday after Tech. We got home about noontime, and I had my son and Mike waiting here for me. We got the car out. We got a strip. We got to wash on Sunday because we all had to work on Monday. And that means a lot. These guys didn't have to do that, and they continuously, are all in, right? And that's all we could say is as long as everybody's all in and we work hard, I think good things are going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it has to make you feel good. I don't know what you put into the cars. That's none of my business. But to get all the money coming in to help you guys and have such great sponsors that you do, that has to mean a lot to both you and Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like anything else. And, I think family is kind of like my support structure, and that's kind of the way I was brought up and what I look to. And, we're kind of like a more extended family now. We started small and we got more and more people coming on that help us out, and everybody pitches in and does their part and picks up the slack when somebody can't, do something or somebody can't be around. So that means a lot to us because, we can't do it all ourselves. There's only so many hours in a day and you only have one set of hands. So, everybody kind of knowing what everybody needs to do and where you need to kind of fill those gaps, whether it's in the shop or at the racetrack or just helping out during the week, making a phone call or, little Ryan took a ride up to Barron's for us to pick up some stuff, just to make our lives easier and set ourselves up for, next week and the week after that and, the month from now, because before you know it, you get back in that groove, you're racing 2-3 times a week and you still got to prep cars for the shop and guys are racing themselves and, life is happening as well. We have jobs and families and, other relationships and responsibilities besides being able to enjoy ourselves on, Fridays and Saturday nights traveling all over, smelling race fuel.
Yeah. Racing is a full-time job, even if you're not getting paid for it. That's for sure. But, going forward for the Elite Series, I know you have a decision you have to make in September, but that's down the line. So, but I was talking to Junior today, and he said to me that he thinks that you yourself and him have the ability now, with your programs, the way they are set up and how good you guys are running, to challenge some of these New York guys that have been dominating for years.
Well, I never look at it that way. I always go race to race. I kind of just say, we work hard and try to do as well as we can at the races. I mean, obviously when you go pull on a racetrack, you want to win. But at the end of the day, you got to be a humble person and try to go in there and do as good as you can do with what you have and try to do the best you can. I mean, these guys race a lot more than we do, right? Let's be honest. They do it for a living, and they're really good at it. I mean, they're really good at it. What we try to do is just try to compete to our level that we can and try to knock off some wins when we can and do as good as we can. So, and that's why you try to support yourself with the people behind you, and hopefully we can run with them every storm. That's what we're hoping. But if we don't, we know we gave it our 100% and can do our very best the next time. So, and that becomes everything. Everybody helps us out, even like Stefan LaFrance with all the setups and the shock tips and what he does for us with the shocks. I mean, it's incredible what the support we get with so little team that we do have.
I've noticed over, like last year when you came out in the beginning of the year, we've talked, and you didn't go out. You didn't set a goal to run 100 races. You wanted to be prepared to run each race the best you can be, and that plan has seemed to work out for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have to be prepared, right? And I think that's something like we learned running the dirt tour. You got to unload fast, right? And if you're not, it's going to be a struggle. And we have the luxury of having a little bit of a deeper notebook now, and we try to show up to the racetrack as prepared as possible. And there's always going to be unforeseen circumstances that might put you behind the eight ball. But try to prepare for as many situations as you can think of, and go from there. And if something does happen, guys look at us like we're crazy when we're thrashing. We've had some bad luck in hot laps, and we're doing this and that, and then we go out and we make it in time for time trials, and people look at us like we got 3 heads. But that's the kind of stuff where having the support system that we have and everybody knowing what they need to do. This guy knows to grab this guy knows to grab that, and Ryan's got the confidence in us to get it done, and get it done in, a timely fashion, and he feels safe enough to go back out there and do what he has to do and drive the car. So, but that starts Sunday when we wake up and, like you said, prepping, washing, going over the cars, and then, set ourselves up for the week to come and thinking about the week ahead of that.
Right, yeah. I witnessed that last year at Bridgeport for the dirt race when you had the problem in warm-ups, and you really tore the car up pretty good, but you came out, you time trialed good, and you had a good heat race run, and, it just goes to show you, that everybody does know what they're doing, and you can get a car back together when it's damaged.
Well, I can tell you there's no quit in my team, right? You're never going to see him quit halfway through the night. You're never going to see him walk out of the pit area. They're going to give me 110% till that feature's over, and that's why I always tell you, behind me, I'll never not give 110% because all my guys work hard and give me 110%, and I feel like I owe it to them, and it's not in my DNA not to, but it's just you always do. So, I don't know. I always say to people, like I said, me and Mike said last year, nobody's going to beat my heart of racing. They're going to beat me on racetrack and their car's going to be better, but nobody's going to beat my heart of racing, and it's just because we've been doing it for as long as we've been doing it. We got so much love for the sport that you do it with all your time, and you got good people around you. You got, and even like goes as far as, Chelsea being at home with my daughter and being allowing us to stay in the shop late, getting stuff done and not doing the things that every other family gets to do while we're sitting in here till 2 o'clock in the morning getting stuff prepped for the next race. There is one guy I want to bring over here. Dan, come here. So everybody knows Dan Fleming from Extreme Graphics. He does all my lettering. I do forget him time to time in our interview like I did the other night. But this is the guy. He might not be here every night helping us. But when it gets to these race times, he's the guy that stays till 3 in the morning with us to get the cars ready when it's the night before the race and going there. And I want to say he does a lot for me, and I really appreciate it. And it really hurts my feelings. I did say his name in victory lane on Saturday, but you guys need lettering. He's the guy. He does an awesome job, and I couldn't do a lot of things without Dan. So thank you, Dan.
That makes you feel pretty good, doesn't it, Dan?
Yeah, it does. I mean, we all put a lot of time in here. I don't put as much as I used to, but I'm busy racing and trying to keep these things lettered too. So, but we work real good as a team. You saw at Bridgeport that most people would have packed it up and called it a night. But like you said, we don't quit. So, and then wins like that make the 3 o'clock in the morning all that much better.
Absolutely. And of course, I'm sure there's a few beers involved too, but
No
beers on shop nights.
Only if there is, like when we get home from the races and we're still here. But unless we're done for the night cleaning up, we might have a beer. But that is one strict rule we've made from when I was 20. We will not, drink and work on cars. It doesn't happen in here. Listen, we all like to party and party it up. And, after the races are over and the trailer doors close and we're having a beer. But, in here, until the work is done, we do not drink. It's one rule that, I don't know, it's just your head's got to be in the game. You're spending too much money and you're trying to run for too much money to be the other way. So, I don't know. It's not that you can't, but it's just something we don't do just because we try to keep our habits the same and do the same thing every week,
Now, obviously, you mentioned Dan as your crew, but you have a real good crew behind you, and you have a bunch of guys, and they all, they're not here every night, they're not here at every race, but, they got, give a shout out to the guys that help you out here a little bit.
Well, my brother is the most important probably one in here. Michael contended that. I mean, he's the one that makes all these motors look pretty, wires everything, helps, navigate the lines. He's just, when I want to say, I don't want to say it, but he's very precise on what he does. Yes, I don't know if I could say it or not, but but he's very precise, and sometimes me and Mike get aggravated. But I tell you what, it's funny because we go to practice Thursday night, and usually the first practice session on a new car, you can take it easy. I never took it easy. I hammer down, and he comes in, he looks at me, and goes, "Could you at least give it a lap, taking it easy before you just hammer down?" I said, "I got confidence in you. I've never had no confidence in you." So, he's number one, right? We wouldn't have the wins we would have ever in any of my career without him. And a lot of people know that, and a lot of people don't. But as a driver, the driver gets a lot of attention, but everybody who knows racing knows it's Butchie's behind it too, and he just keeps everything going better as far as making sure the shop's clean. If it starts getting dirty, he'll make us all stop, and we all got to clean the shop. I mean, and that's how, and really and it helps because, if you keep on top of it, it does make it for everything to go easier. But that's number one. And then obviously it's always me, my brother, and Mike in the shop here. And then the next one obviously is Ryan, and he's got a lot and I give him a lot of credit because he takes all our garbage. So,
Sure.
I mean, when we're not having a good night, he's the one that gets it, right?
There's the run of it, right?
Yeah, so he's going to come on here and say something because he stayed home. So I do want to give him a shout out real quick because obviously we had some ice issues Friday night and I was going racing. He was supposed to go down to Cherokee and help us, and he stayed back and managed all the stuff and made sure it was all good, and very happy about that because it allowed me to free up time to go when he could have been down there enjoying himself too, and I just really appreciate that. So, Ryan, come here and say hi.
This is Ryan Godown Jr., who will be back driving the crate next year at Bridgeport, and I guess on the Deo South stuff. So, but your career is starting out, but you're helping your dad a lot, and then to get a win down there in Cherokee, even though you weren't there, that's gotta mean something to you too.
Yeah, it always helps to have guys like this around me. I wouldn't be where I am in anything without my dad, and then the personality I have with my dad or my Uncle Butchie, and with racing and friendship, I wouldn't be anywhere without Mike either. So all those guys and all the other crew guys we got, I got to thank all of them. And to have him be successful like he is, it's always fun to watch as a son. And I'm just so proud of him all the time. I'm just so thankful for everything.
It's pretty cool. So you got a lot of sponsors on this car, and this is your time. You can give a shout out to some of the sponsors you got here.
Yeah, well, we got to finish up the crew. We have Ron, who's been with Ryan for a long time, and he helps us out a ton. And then Matt Ellery and John Ellery when they can help. Matt's starting to race a little bit more himself, so he can't be here as often, but they're a big help. Roger, obviously, he comes down and he continues to pitch in more and more, and help the team out. Alex, obviously, driving the hauler because. Listen, we're not getting to the racetrack without Alex. So, and we're not getting home from the racetrack either without Alex, because I can tell you, Ryan and Butch are not the night owls that they used to be. So, I've spent many nights with Butchie snoring on his way home from Big Diamond. After we all worked a long day, raced and whatever, and coming home. So, without Alex, we definitely couldn't be doing what we're doing from traveling to just going to Bridgeport on a Saturday night. And then, sponsors. Ryan has had some sponsors that have been around with him forever. Strober Wright Roofing has been, family to him, and has really helped the program throughout his career, from street stocks all the way up. Camp Out, Roger and Kathy from Camp Out have been big supporters for us. John Ellery's Bar and Grill, Izzy, Trucking and Rigging. We had Weekneck Archery come on this year with Schwacker and their broadheads, Covey Towing, Billy the Kid Race Engines. Obviously, we've been with Billy now for a little while. He's been a big step up in our program and making us go. Arts Radiators, Creston Hydraulics, and Boss Snowplow. They've been big sponsor of us, and they help Ryan's business go too. Without them, we don't get to do. He doesn't get to eat and live because that's the lifeblood of how he really survives. So
And what that is, it's Boss Snowplows, not Western. People get this wrong all the time. It's a Boss Snowplow, not Western.
So as we wrap this video up here, and what is the team's plans going forward this year? Pretty much the same as last year.
Yeah, obviously, number one is to be prepared, right? That's before any race. But we're going to try to do, like I said, all the elite races, like we said a month ago. We're going to do the South Series races also of Deo. And then we're going to be at Bridgeport. We're going to try to do as many spec specials as we can. Obviously, we're still waiting on our spec engines. Billy the Kid's been great on turning stuff around, and he's getting there, and our spec stuff should be done in a week or two. So I'm not really worried about there. And hopefully by within a month, we should have enough of them to, be all right for the year. You just don't know the crazy world we're living in. So, that's first. I mean, we want to do a little bit more big block racing this year, and obviously support Deo. And it's weird because I'm listening to all these interviews and looking at all these papers, and they're all complaining about the draw. Well, we all knew the draw going down to Cherokee. The guys who drew bad, of course, are going to say the bad draw, and the guys who drew good ain't going to say nothing. So, support the guy that's giving you the money, and no whether you like it or not, support the guy that's spending a lot of money to make us go racing and be able to pay us out at the end of the night. And I don't think Brett Deo gets enough credit for that, because the guy took a lot on his shoulders, and he's got a lot of money behind him. He's paying out these kind of crazy payouts. Support the guy, and good things will happen.
Yeah, I mean, $1,000 for 16th place. Some of the New York little tracks don't even pay that to win feature.
Absolutely. And people want to complain. It's easy for a guy that works as hard as he does to hear complaints and say, forget it. I tried to help you guys. It's what it is. Support the people that help support you, and I think good things will happen. Sometimes the draw is going to go your way. Sometimes it ain't. It's how it is. Trust me, I didn't draw good. I started 12th in my heat. But I'm still grateful for the opportunity to go run for $25,000. And that's where, I don't know, it's just I think different all the time than a lot of other people. It's just, we wish different things. We wish we could start on the pole every week. Let's be honest, but it's not going to happen. So, just be happy that, somebody's out there putting the money on and helping you support something that you do. And you're able to get out in February and the beginning of the year and run for some big money, which is going to help you get through the season. So I want to say thank you, Brett Deo,
Yeah, Brett told me in the interview I did with him a few weeks ago that, he wants to keep doing this, but it's up to the racers and the fans. And if they support the series, then, he'll be able to keep doing it.
Well, that's it. I mean, there's a lot of things I'm sure he's got to sort out, and it's a learning experience every year, but it's something that we all have to come together as one big team and support each other and try to make the best judgment calls as we go going forward. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I think he's doing a great job of what he's doing. I mean, for us, before Brett Deo, we had to go run Dirt Series up north, which was 5 hours away with not so much pay. So for us now, we can go a few hours away and run for big money, and it's just crazy how he's doing it. And I'm thankful for it. I really am. I mean, that's why, people say, why you get emotional for it? Because we don't get to run for this kind of money very often. Maybe once, twice a year. But, now he's making it different where we can run for more times throughout the year, and I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah, that was one thing I was going to bring up, and I've seen you in a lot of victory lanes. I've interviewed you in a victory lane, a Big Diamond, but that's the first time I ever saw you get emotional in a victory lane.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, obviously it depends on the situation, but we worked hard, right? We all worked, everybody in this garage, including my brother, we all worked till 2, 3 in the morning, a couple nights. I think we had 2 weeks we got this car together, 2 to 3 weeks, because we had some snow in January. Luckily, we didn't have much in February, but it was a bare frame here. It took us 2 weeks to get it together, and that's just working nights and weekends. I mean, it wasn't nothing, So when you do all that hard work, it usually doesn't come like that, and I think that's why I was a little bit emotional and just about the whole concept. We had 60 drivers start that qualifying. So, I mean, to go against the best of the best, I feel like you couldn't get a better field than you had there, and to pull out a win, I mean, that was it's just crazy. It's just crazy to think about.